So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are finally back in the LeBron era doing some of my favorite rebuilds, and today it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. I got a couple of requests to do the Grizzlies in the LeBron era, so big thank you to all of you who did suggest this. Now, this Grizzlies team is very interesting. We have some really fun pieces on this team. In real life, this group went 46-36, and although it might not seem like it's where they should be, they were an 8 seed with that record. So really just kind of goes to show you how crazy some of these standings got back in my childhood, if you will. But, you know, we have a young Marc Gasol. We have a young Mike Conley. I think we have like a 29-year-old Zach Randolph. Rudy Gay is here. A lot of fun pieces on this team. By far not even close to the worst team we've rebuilt. And today I think we can get them a championship. I'm super excited to be back doing historic rebuilds. I'm also very much looking forward to kind of venturing into the other eras that we really haven't dove into too much yet. So if you guys want to see me do that, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section, of course, with any other video ideas you guys do have. I'm very sad that the trading every player rebuilds did end yesterday, but you live, you learn, you move on, man. But I'm very much looking forward to this one today. I hope you guys are as well. Let's get into it. As we kind of just touched on in the intro, this Grizzlies team clearly does have a lot of talent. We're going to go over the roster in just a second. But before we do, I want to give a big thank you to 2kratings.com. I was not really familiar with this website, but it has all the rosters that are in the LeBron era. I'm sure it has current and other eras as well. But what this also has is all the players who are on the actual Memphis Grizzlies team, along with every other team in this era, that are not actually in the game. So whether 2K couldn't get the rights to these players, whatever the situation may be, these are the players that should be on this team that are replaced by like auto-generated CPUs. Just cool. I'll just read you off the list. This is something I probably should have done from the start of this, but I did not, obviously. Darrell Arthur, Shane Battier, Rodney Carney, Hamed Haddadi, I don't know. Xavier Henry, Leon Poe, Ish Smith, Hashim Thabit, Grievous Vasquez, Jason Williams, and Sam Young. So hypothetically, all these players should be here now. I don't know if they were here at the actual start of the season. They came in via trade, whatever the situation may be. But for, you know, all the random auto-generated 67s overall, that's who it should be, hypothetically. Let's go over it. Mike Conley is 23 years old. He developed super well in this game. He's a guy I want to build around today. Almost a 0% chance he's going anywhere. We have Leroy Hardy here. This is number 1 on the auto-generated list. OJ Mayo is here. Back in the day, OJ Mayo was such a bucket. Is he still like on an indefinite suspension? I don't really know. AC Law is here. We have Kyle Harris, who apparently is not real. Small forward spot. Rudy Gay is only 24. He's on a 5-year, $80 million deal. Definitely could be my small forward the entire video. I'm not going to say if he is or if he isn't, but he's definitely a really reliable option. Tony Allen, all-team first defense. That's my plan with him today. All likelihood going to be in a 6-man role on this team, maybe 7th man, but again, provides a lot of valuable defense. One of the best defensive players of all time, in my opinion. We have a young Damari Carroll here, only 24 years old. Darnell Lewis, and then Jim Edwards. Again, not real people. Power forward spot. Zach Randolph is a guy that I have signed out of free agency before. I do not want to let him go for nothing, so he's going to be probably priority number 1 this offseason. We have Jermaine Hunter and then Kobe Watson, whoever these people are. And then the center spot, we have one center, Marc Gasol, who, much like Zach Randolph, I have signed out of free agency before and definitely would like to not lose for nothing. So Marc Gasol would be a nice building block for us today. So we have a couple moves coming right now. It's nothing going to be too crazy, but aligning some more depth on this team, maybe an upgrade or two. I'll see you guys with the moves. I found this a little bit interesting. We're making a trade for Leon Poe, but according to 2K, he should have been on this team anyways. So I don't know if he was like a mid-season acquisition. Whatever it is, he's clearly in the game, and I'm not going to pretend if I know the tenure of Leon Poe in Memphis, but I don't know. I mean, I'm reading the list right now. Unless there's another Leon Poe out there, he should have been here. So I don't know. Maybe he got traded, maybe he didn't. But nonetheless, we are making a trade, and he's going to be here. He's going to be the new backup center behind Marc Gasol. Again, only a 73 overall, but very much serviceable enough for probably the 1 or 2 years he'll be here. We found ourselves an upgrade at the backup power forward spot, and that's going to come with a deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Leroy Hardy, Norm Houston, Kobe Watson, who relatively all kind of look identical, are going to Los Angeles. We're picking up Luke Walton and Bojan Kramer, whatever the hell that is. Luke Walton may be a little overpaid, I guess, for his overall in this era in general, but he's definitely an upgrade, going to be behind Zach Randolph, and I'm very much excited to have him here. So I think in terms of other backups, it's really just the backup point guard spot. I moved Tony Allen to the backup shooting guard position. He can overall hit of 2. It's not the end of the world. We'll figure it out at some point. But I wanted to get Damari Carroll some run. I think that's the best option with this team right now. So probably one more trade, just finding ourselves a backup point guard. Our final trade before year 1 kicks off is going to come with the Milwaukee Bucks, and it's going to look like this. We're going to be acquiring Keon Dooling, and Lamont Martin from the Milwaukee Bucks for Jermaine Hunter and Darnell Lewis and a 2011 second round pick. So Dueling by no means is going to be a long-term backup option for me, but he's about as good as it gets right now with the trade market the way it is. So I think we have a formidable 10-man rotation that's going to go ahead and provide us hopefully better depth and hopefully a longer playoff run. Let's set that rotation. I went ahead and checked just to make sure, and I was actually a little surprised. Our first round pick is actually currently owned by the Minnesota Timberwolves. It is lottery protected. Now, to be fair, I don't expect this to be a lottery team, and I have absolutely no idea what trade that kind of traces back to, but just a fun note. Nothing to really be bad for. I mean, I guess we're so bad that we're in the lottery, but you understand what I'm saying. Mike Conley, OJ Mayo going to be my backcourt here. Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, Marcus Gasol round out the starting five. Really no surprises in there. Tony Allen will be my sixth man off the bench. Damari Carroll follows him. You got Leon Poe here as our backup center. Luke Walton, our backup four, and then Keon Dooling rounding out our 10-man rotation. So, I think we've made improvements without really kind of giving up in terms of a lot of assets. So I expect this team to have a relatively deep run. I don't know if we're up there with some of the true top tier Western Conference contenders, but we've set ourselves up really well, I think, for the future. I'll see you guys at the end of year one. Our first year in Memphis is over. We go 45-37. Real life, as I mentioned, they went 46-36. Kind of on par with how this team actually did. LeBron James, his first year in Miami, wins the MVP. Blake Griffin, Manu Ginobili, Dwight Howard, Russell Westbrook, and Joe. Oh my God, man, who's the dude from? Is it The Grinch? No, I'm thinking of the wrong Christmas movie. No. Is it Christmas Story? Who's the fucking old guy with the hat that looks like an old I don't even know, Grinch at all time? I don't know. I might be making shit up. Let's get into it. You can see we are the 7th seed here. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but it's a very good Western Conference. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We're going to have the kind of young, up-and-coming Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of the playoffs. Let's check out the stats on the season, see how everybody played for us. Zach Randolph, 19.5, 14 boards a game. Yeah, we're going to have to pay this man some money. Rudy Gay, Mike Conley, OJ Mayo, Marcus Gasol, Allen Poe, Dooling, Carroll, and Walton. Rebounds, 14.5 is going to take it for Zach Randolph. And Mike Conley, nearly 10 assists a game. Very much looking forward to having him as a building block. So the Thunder are young, but they are very good. There are 3 MVPs on this team. Serge Ibaka, Jeff Green there as well, and Antonio McDyess, who has to be 36. All right, man, let's see what happens here in the first round. I suspect we're not going to win. We are down 3-0. That probably confirms that, and we do get swept. So an unfortunate end to an okay first season. Denver actually goes on to win it all. Can you imagine if Melo actually... How much of NBA history would be different if Carmelo Anthony broke through with the Nuggets and actually won a championship? Or even with the New York Knicks, if you want to call it that. Because Melo obviously never won a ring. And I don't want to say, it's his fault, because he was always super good, and some of the teams around him weren't necessarily there. It's just... I don't know, man. I think Melo, he was obviously one of the best players of the era. It's just, there's a lot of, I don't want to say there's a lot of what ifs, because he was so goddamn good. But in terms of just, what could have been with some of those teams he was on, and, New York especially, I don't know. Just my take. I could be wrong. Shaq, Kidd, and Nash all entering the Hall of Fame. We look at jersey retirements. Cool, historic changes. Luxury tax, always good. Wizards are changing their logo, and New York's changing a couple things. Okay, we're not going to have our first round pick. We're in the playoffs, meaning we're not in the draft lottery, which is honestly fine by me. The Toronto Raptors are going to land Kawhi Leonard in all likelihood. Utah, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Minnesota. Okay, so staff signing. Lionel Hollins just has dog shit ratings. I mean, if there was even a little bit of potential there, I might think of hanging on to him, but he's got to go. I got to upgrade here. In terms of who I could sign as my head coach, I mean, there are definitely some options here. Avery Johnson actually has pretty good ratings. He's not really a guy I've signed in the past. Grit and grind kind of feels like the exact thing Memphis needs. We're going to go out and we're going to sign Avery Johnson. Welcome to Memphis. I'm excited to have you. Okay, let's head up to the draft. No first round pick, as I mentioned, which is a little unfortunate, but no second round pick either. So do I want to skip over the draft entirely? Do I maybe want to find a way to trade into the draft? Now, no disrespect to the great Luke Walton and Keon Dooling. They're probably not going to be on this team next year. So if there's any way I can maybe trade into, the mid-teens, acquire a draft pick with those two in the trade, I'm definitely going to do it. The Washington Wizards own the number 10 overall pick, and I'd like to have it. We're going to offer Luke Walton and Keon Dooling in a trade for that number 10 overall pick. And how about we make a deal? Come on. Don't be all smart now. Nobody's ever accused the Wizards of being a smart organization. Let's go ahead and you want Bojan Kramer, or how about just a couple second-round picks? Because honestly, second-round picks in real life have value, especially today. Here in 2K, they really don't. Holy shit. Okay. Kind of feels like we got away with a little bit of a robbery there. Let's take a look at the summary so far. Kawhi Leonard, Donnell, Caffey, who? Thompson, Dalt, who? Kyrie Irving, who? Alec Burks, J.R. Smith, and O.J. Patton. Is Jimmy Butler still here? Oh, my God. Holy shit. Well, Jimmy Butler fell to us. I didn't necessarily expect that to happen. You also have Cardiac Kemba sitting here. I know I've drafted Jimmy before, but there was legitimately zero expectation that, you know, maybe arguably the second best player, if not third, because I'm putting Kawhi 1, or I don't know, wherever you want to call Jimmy Butler, I didn't think he'd be sitting here at 10. So, fuck. I don't want to get him because I've gotten him before, but I also don't really need a point guard. Like, I could have Kemba for depth, I guess, the backup point guard. They're both going to be depth. So, actually, you know what? Because we have Tony Allen, we have DeMar Carroll. No, I know Jimmy Butler's clearly, you know, miles ahead of them in terms of, you know, career output. But Kemba Walker, we need a backup point guard. He's not a guy I've drafted before. I'm going to take Kemba. I know he's not a better player than Jimmy Butler. I'm sure some people will get mad about that. But the man is going to be a 77 overall for us. O.J. Mayo, I'm bringing back. No, not for $5 million. DeMar Carroll, yes, as well. Okay, we look at qualifying. Gasol, Conley, Poe. Honestly, why the hell not? I'll qualify all of you. And then Zach Randolph is entering free agency. He's definitely somebody I'm interested in retaining. So, hypothetically speaking, we have money if we wanted to go out and attempt to get somebody like Carmelo Anthony. But just unfortunately, we just have too many free agents. I don't really want to lose anybody. So, Mike Conley has 6 offers. Only one real one. It's from the Pistons. Zach Randolph, I hope I can get him at that price tag. And then Conley, how much is the offer for him? I'm just going to do math. I'm not good at this shit. What's that? That's basically 39. 39. 13, isn't it? It is. It's 13 million. All right, that's like a $13 million AAV. I'll do like 13 and a half, 5-year deal, player option. Hopefully that entices him a little bit. And then I know we are also going to be waiting on Gasol as well, who unfortunately we don't have bird rights on, but he is restricted, meaning we should be able to get him back. So welcome back, Randolph. A lot of Santa talk today. Randolph and Conley. We are definitely not going to renounce the rights here on Marc Gasol. I also wouldn't mind, you know, retaining Leon Poe. He's obviously not a priority, if you will. Marc Gasol going to go to New York. I don't think so, pal. We're going. Oh my God, it's only a 2-year deal. Wow. And then Leon Poe, we're going to wait on. So we get all these guys back, and then I don't think we have bird rights on Leon Poe. No, we do not. Let's just see what the roster is looking like right now. We're good at point guard. We're good at shooting guard. Well, I think there's an argument to maybe make an upgrade here with O.J. Mayo. I think if we look at the starting 5, that's, I don't want to say weakest spot, but it kind of is. And it's definitely a position we could make an upgrade with. So I'm not saying anything's going to happen 100%, but I would be interested to see what we could do. I'm going to do something right now that doesn't necessarily seem smart. I'm doing something that on paper looks like an absolutely egregious mistake, but what we're going to do is test how stupid 2K actually is. So we are making this trade. We're picking up DeMar DeRozan and Boris Diaw. We're sending out O.J. Mayo, Marc Gasol, and a 2015 second-round pick. But I have a sneaky feeling that I will be able to flip Boris Diaw for Marc Gasol on a couple draft picks almost immediately. So DeMar, clearly younger than O.J. Mayo, obviously had a little bit of a better career. And we're making this deal. So it might not look great on paper, but I immediately go back to the Toronto Raptors. I go find myself one Marc Gasol. I include Boris Diaw here in the deal, 1-for-1. They want Kemba for Jarrett Jack. I mean, I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world, but I'd rather not do it. We give up one first. We give up another first. Fuck. Okay, I may actually have to give up Kemba Walker. Shit. All right, you know what? I don't want to give up Kemba. I think he's going to be fantastic for us, and I think he would have been, but in all honesty, he's coming off the bench. He probably would have been a 6th or 7th man. Jarrett Jack, he's only 27, had a pretty good year last year. He's going to do the same thing. And we got DeMar DeRozan out of it, so, and we didn't even have to give up a draft pick. So that feels like a home run to me. I don't not actually, you know what? Could I just go out and get Kemba? I'm just curious. I'm not going to force the issue because I actually don't really care that much, but I mean, if we can maybe find a way. Not Conley, DeMar Carroll. You know what? Let me just see. Real quick. How about if, like, 2 first-round picks, I'd do it. I would totally do this. Okay, no. All right, that's fine. It's not a favorite trade of mine, but it's one that's going to allow us to get better in the starting 5 and kind of the long-term output of this team. So now what we need to do is find ourselves some backup bigs. A guy like Jared Dudley, I think, would be a really valuable kind of stretch for this team. And hopefully the game lets me bring back Leon Poe. I think he kind of did his job for us. Doesn't look like it's going to. Yeah, Jason Collins doesn't really entice me too much. Eric Dampier's 36 years old. Eaton Thomas, Theo Ratliff. I mean, good Lord. I guess Jason Collins is going to have to cut it for a year. All right, man. We are officially all set. I will see you guys at the start of year 2. Last season, we did make the playoffs. We did not have a very fun run. We got swept in the first round by the Oklahoma City Thunder. This year, we've kind of retooled this team a little bit. We're seeing some nice progression. I think we're on the right track. I really do. Mike Conley going to remain our point guard. Clearly went ahead and made a little bit of a risky deal to pick up DeMar DeRozan. Rudy Gay still here at our 3. Zach Randolph we brought back. Same with Marc Gasol. Jarrett Jack actually going to be my 6th man off the bench. Some of you may criticize me for the Kemba Walker trade, but ultimately we prioritized the starters over the bench pieces, and even with that, we got a really good bench piece in Jarrett Jack. Jared Dudley right behind him. Tony Allen, we're seeing some regression, which I was a little bit confused and concerned about, if I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, the man's only 29 years old, and we've seen that overall go down. Just something to note. DeMar Carroll developing a little slower than I would have hoped, and then Jason Collins, I mean, good lord. 10 minutes a night, hopefully not going to kill us. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. It is another MVP for the Miami Heat. This time it is Mr. Dwayne Wade himself. A very impressive season, even playing next to LeBron James and Chris Bosh. I'm sure they have some other talent there as well. I'm not going to lie to you. I was aimlessly scrolling through Twitter. I do that all the time while things are simulating, and I didn't see a record. My fault. I'll know when all you know. Kawhi Leonard is a Toronto Raptor. Rookie of the Year. Jose Calderon, 6th man of the year. Tim Duncan is your decoy. Ben Uzo? Who? Avery. Holy shit. What? Wow. This team was really good. I didn't think we had. Wow. All right. Look at Avery Johnson leading us to the promised land, or, well, really good regular season. Hopefully some good. Wow. 69 wins. First of all, nice. I did not think this team had, like, best record in the league capability, but I guess I was wrong. Here are the numbers on the season. Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, DeMar DeRozan, Conley, Gasol, Dudley, Jack, Carroll, Allen, and Collins. Rebounds a game. Zach Randolph's just a monster on the boards, and assists Mike Conley. Racking up the numbers. So it is us and the Lakers. You got Kobe Bean Bryant. You got Derek Fisher here. You still got Pau Gasol. Lamar Odom coming off the bench. Hakeem Warwick, Ron Artest. Mr. Meta World Peace himself. I mean, I don't know. 69 wins? Really? Sometimes this game surprises me for the better. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does. We beat the Lakers in 5. We're moving on to the Trailblazers with Ben Uzo, who apparently has just had a really good season. Brandon Roy is here. Nicholas Batum, AK-47. Greg Oden. How is LaMarcus Aldridge not in this starting lineup? I'd start him over either of these guys. That's just my take. Let's see what happens here in the Western Conference semifinals. We are up 2-0. Are we just that good? Okay, hold on a damn. Okay, thank you. It is a rematch of our first round series last year that obviously did not go our way. We were seeing some very nice development out of these 3 right here. Jeff Green, Serge Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins, Thabo Sefolosha, Daquan Cook. Okay, I don't know if this is a series we can win. They clearly have, the better, like, big 3, if you will, and we're up 3-1. What the fuck is happening right now? We got the Orlando Magic? Really? All right, so the Magic clearly have the best player in the series. I think we have the better team. I do. I stand by that take. Can we get a championship here in just our 2nd season in Memphis? And it looks like that's going to happen. I'm shocked. I am. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't really know what I was expecting for this 2nd season, but it certainly wasn't a sweep in the finals. That's insane. Just over 3.5 minutes left to go here in Game 4 in Orlando. We were on the verge of a sweep. I mean, it's just, I didn't think that this team necessarily had the talent to do that, and it did. I don't know why I'm shooting it through with DeMar DeRozan. This year, it's just probably not quite there yet, but I don't know. Maybe the team just fits super well together. We're not no selfish basketball, nothing like that. So, I'm very happy with kind of the output right now of what we're getting from this group. Now, to be fair, this is only a 7-point game. It's definitely not over, but I certainly did not suspect that this would be a championship caliber team in year 2. But we were, and I'm happy about it. We're going to call for the ISO, and then let's run a little. Okay, come on, Zach. Give me the screen on the other side. Randolph down low. Zach Randolph getting the layup to go. He's got 21 and 11 on the night, 0 assists. Very Michael Porter Jr.-esque of him. I'd love to see it. All right, we'll probably do 1 or 2 more possessions, I think, for the most part. Is this Andre Miller? That was some good-ass fucking defense by Mr. Gay himself right there. All right. I think this one's pretty much over. Let's kick it over to DeMar. I don't know. Is this JJ Redick? Thanks for coming, JJ. We'll do 1 more defensive possession, try to ensure that this game is over. But, yeah, I mean, I'll take it when 2K blesses me. I don't really tend to question it. So, very, very happy for this Memphis Grizzlies team. We obviously still have 1 year to go. And I'm hoping that we can capture another championship. That is just Dwight Howard at his finest. I mean, the dude's just an absolute monster. So, if I score 1 more... Oh, yeah, pump up the crowd, Dwight. You got a real shot here at winning this one. Let's just do 1 more here with DeMar. Everything feels like it's kind of laggy right now. I don't really love that. Randolph, screen. Thank you. DeMar down the lane, gets the layup. Alrighty, I'll see you guys at the finals MVP. A clean sweep of the Orlando Magic makes us champs. I did not think those would be words coming out of my mouth. 11-10 gets a finals MVP. I mean, I guess that's what you get when you're playing unselfish basketball. I'm just still kind of shocked. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, draft lottery. I highly doubt we have anything in here. Let's just sim through it real quick. Suns, Rockets, Kings, Raptors, and Bucks as your top 5. Avery Johnson just led us to the promised land, won a Coach of the Year, won a championship in his first season in Memphis. I'm very happy about that. We do have the 30th overall pick. I don't know. If there's any like center here that's like a real person, I'd be happy to take it. Ooh, Festus Ezeli. Why not? Why the hell not? I mean, I don't know if he's actually going to play for us, but he's a real person. He's a 73 overall. I guess that beats out Jason Collins. So we're bringing back everybody there. Cliff Griffin. We're going to take a pass. And then we look in free agency. It doesn't really look like we have any free agents kind of at all. So we're all set if we want it. I'm a little bit nervous about Tony Allen, seeing a little bit of regression there. So I might make a move. I know I don't really have to, but like, I mean, it can't really hurt, right? I don't know why Tony Allen's regressing. I don't want to trade him, but you know, he went down 2 overalls last year. I have a sneaky feeling he's probably only going to do the same, if not worse, this year. So just curious, like, what does Tony Allen bring me? Oh boy. I mean, I'm thinking kind of shooting guard. I don't really love any of these options here. Tracy McGrady, but he's 33. Yeah, I wish this game wasn't so fucking annoying with the regression thing. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to let Festus Ezeli play. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let Festus Ezeli play. I'm going to sign, actually, you know what? I'm going to bring in Barbosa. Leandro Barbosa is going to play, and then maybe we look for an upgrade, including Tony Allen. You know, I don't necessarily have to do that, but I guess it can't hurt. So unless what I want to do is trade Tony Allen and Festus Ezeli and a draft pick, and then find a serious upgrade at the backup center spot, which doesn't really seem like we're doing that right now. You know what? I'm going to filter this by centers, making like what? I don't even know the dollar amount it was. $5 million combined, whatever the hell the number was. And let's just see. Anybody here that I could like realistically trade for? Chris Kaman, Tiago Splitter. I mean, why the hell not? I want to bring back Tony Allen. I just know damn well that regression is coming. So I'm not even going to risk it. We're going to take an upgrade at the backup center spot. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final season. Last season, we were winners of 69 games and then went on to win a championship, and I was surprised about it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, but I am always going to take it when 2K blesses me. We're running it back for the most part this year with the same roster. A couple small changes in terms of the starting 5. Everything remains identical with a little bit of progression on some guys. Mike Conley, DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol. Bench unit, Jarrett Jack remains the 6-man. Jared Dudley right behind him. New addition of Leandro Barbosa in here. Maybe not the defensive presence that Tony Allen is, but we didn't really see any regression, which is what I was looking for. Damari Carroll still going strong. Tiago Splitter was brought into the backup center. So I think bench-wise we made some upgrades. I really do. I will see you guys at the end of the 3rd and final regular season. I paid some better attention this year for our record just because last year was so good and we were somehow even better this year. 72-10. Tying the best record in NBA history because the Warriors hadn't happened at this time. Insane. Derrick Rose, your MVP. Anthony Davis is a Phoenix Sun. He's your Rookie of the Year. Jordan Farmar. Dwight Howard is now, oh my God, they created Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis in the front court together. Damon Tate. You look like you're in a rock band, I'm not going to lie. 2nd straight Coach of the Year for Mr. Avery Johnson. You love to see it. You really fucking do. I love it. We are 11 games up on the 61-win Thunder for the 1 seed. And oh my God, the Bulls at 68 wins didn't even have the best record in the league. But they did have the best record in the East. Here are the numbers on the season. Gay, DeRozan, but hold on a minute. Rudy Gay, DeMar DeRozan, Zach Randolph, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, Barbosa, Jack, Dudley, Carroll, and then Splitter rebounds a game. I mean, it's an automatic 14 from Zach Randolph. 9.5 feels like an average for Mike Conley as well. It is the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, Monte Ellis, Michael Petras, Darrell Wright, Tristan Thompson is here. That's funny. That's a sweep. That's a sweep. Okay. Minnesota Timberwolves, Western Conference semifinals. They did draft Kyrie Irving. He fell to what, 5? Yeah, number 5 overall. It's insane. Corey Brewer, Michael Beasley, Kevin Love, Damian Pierce. It's funny, in another world, Kyrie and Kevin Love still become teammates. They just don't have, LeBron James sitting there. We're up 2-0 against them. They do finally win a game. It's our first loss of the playoffs. We win Game 4. We win Game 5. It is thus in the Oklahoma City Thunder once again here in the Western Conference Finals. Doesn't really look like there's a lot of changes to this Thunder team. They are still very good. They definitely still have probably the best 2 or 3 players in this series. But I think ultimately we're a more well spread out team. Okay, maybe not. Wow, we lose. I was not expecting that. Thunder win it all. I mean, what are you going to do, right? If Russell Westbrook's putting up numbers like that alongside, and, you know, two other MVP candidates or MVP winners at some point throughout their career, I really can't complain. This was an interesting rebuild. I didn't necessarily think that core we had last year, as I've talked about 100 times at this point, really had what it took to win a championship, but we did. And I don't want to say we took our foot off the gas by any means because, you know, clearly we went ahead and had a fantastic regular season in year 3, made some upgrades on the bench. We obviously saw a little bit of development, but I don't know, maybe I got a little too complacent in the final year, and that's my fault, I guess. But still won a championship. I was very happy with the kind of results of this video. This was a fun team. Big thank you to all of you who suggested the Memphis Grizzlies. This was a blast. I'm very much looking forward to doing more of these LeBron era rebuilds along with other eras and any other video ideas you guys have down below in the comment section. That is it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.